Hello, I am one of your hosts, Gavin McDonough, and welcome to the Linkage on the Links podcast. Hope you are all having a wonderful day, and today we will be covering the linkage institutions. The linkage institutions are systems that connect everyday people in the government, allowing citizens to express their needs, opinions, and priorities to the people in power. Today, we will be ranking the 4 linkage institutions from greatest to least impactful. And at the number 1 spot, we are starting out with a banger: elections. Elections are the process where citizens choose public policy or decide on leaders by voting. A major reason we consider elections our most important institution is it directly represents our democracy. This gives the people a way to have a say in government. Elections have to be the most peaceful way to select a leader. This is one of the clearest ways that the government and the public stay connected. There's never any fights. It's just the people voting and letting the results speak for themselves. Elections also help shape everything about the government. We elect people to make laws and make decisions that have effect on our daily lives. Overall, elections are the strongest link between the government and citizens, and without elections, none of the other institutions would be the same.
Thank you so much, Gavin, for sharing your brilliant ideas. Those are some great points that you just made. Hello, I am another one of your hosts. My name is Ryan Bergameska, and today I'll be speaking on why political parties are the second most important linkage institution. Political parties are slightly less important than elections because without the elections and democracy, our government cannot succeed and be efficient with giving people a say in the government. Political parties are shortly behind them because they actually choose the candidates and decide what they stand for. While they are ahead of mass media, this is because mass media can only share information that the political parties create. Without the political parties, there would not be as much as a need for mass media, and there would not be many things for them to report on. When they take the ideas of interest groups, they make them more well known, but they are mainly used to promote political parties. Political parties are used to organize ideas, make plans, and guide what their members believe in. Mass media just spreads those messages. So political parties are the source, and the mass media is the tool that helps people hear about them. Political parties also help create laws and make big decisions. When members of the same party work together, they can agree on laws and try to pass them. They also help teach citizens about issues, they encourage people to vote, and help the government stay organized. Without political parties, it would be much harder for leaders to talk about their ideas or for voters to know who supports what. That is unfortunately all the time I have for you guys today, so let's send it to Kevin.
Good points on the political parties, Ryan. I am now going to take it over to the mass media. What is mass media, you might be asking? Well, mass media is any type of communication that is used to reach a vast majority of different people. This can be seen in different forms through things like the newspaper, TV, radio, and the internet. Political parties are seen as more important compared to the mass media because they do more with organizing voters and creating policies compared to the mass media, which usually just reports on these matters. In today's day and age, mass media has taken a dive in its importance because of how much social media has changed. This is because there are so many different social media influencers on different platforms such as Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok that can reach a wide variety of people with just a couple of clicks on their phones. This might be seen as a good thing to some people, which it very well could be, but usually the people listening are not educated enough on the topics and are easily persuaded when listening to people talk about different issues in society. Because of how easy it is to reach people online in today's society is why mass media is so important. But in the same aspect, it's also that easy for people to be persuaded in the wrong direction about different things that they are hearing. However, mass media is still seen as slightly more important than the interest groups because of how easy it is to reach a large amount of people. Mass media helps to take the ideas that the interest groups have and turn it into a national discussion. With mass media having an easy way to reach the people, it has such an important impact on people's personal morals, principles, and especially the way they vote.
Thank you, Kevin, for all those beneficial points about mass media. And we will now be talking about something you might not hear much about, but it actually helps several things in our country. They're called interest groups. So you might be asking, what are interest groups? And they are groups of people who all care about the same issue or cause. It could be something as simple as protecting animals, helping the environment, or supporting gun laws. These people work together to get support from leaders and policymakers so their ideas can be heard and protected. Now, we can compare interest groups to other things like mass media or political parties. Interest groups are the least important, but that does not mean that they don't matter at all. They're kind of like the starting point for everything else. If you didn't have interest groups at the bottom, other linkage institutions would not be what they are today. For example, without interest groups, mass media would not have much to talk about or anything to promote. There would be no organized ideas, no shared goals, or no groups pushing for a change in the government. Interest groups are the ones who gather people who care about the same things. But at the same time, interest groups really do need mass media. Without newspapers or TV or social media, interest groups would have a really tough time getting attention to their problem they're trying to promote. Not many people would know what they stand for or what they're trying to change. Mass media helps their ideas spread so more people can join or support them. So even though interest groups might be the least important out of the four to the others, compared to the others, they still play a big role. They bring people together, start conversations, and give everyone the ability to make a change. Thanks for listening to the Linkage on the Links podcast, and be sure to hit that like button and to subscribe to our channel for further videos. Thank you.